Hi there, Yasir. Nice to see that you've written your first set of essays for us. Well done. Let's see what you did here, shall we? The first one is about schools, entertaining or merely educational. Let's see what you said. Schools, all right, first of all, please capitalize your first word. Schools, primary center to determine human personality and basic academic expertise in today's world, should focus only on academic front, or rather be more holistic, including other extracurricular activities as well, is debatable. But I view school as center for child's overall development rather than a mere academic skill acquiring institute. All right, so the first thing I want to do is fix the grammar in this introduction. That's the first thing we need to look at. So capitalize schools, comma, the primary center to determine human personality and basic academic expertise in today's world, comma, should focus only, let's try it again. Whether schools, comma, the primary center to determine human personality and basic academic experience in today's world, comma, should focus only on academics, or rather be more holistic, including other extracurricular activities as well, is debatable. Okay, so I did fix it grammatically. So grammatically it works, it's accurate, but it's still very heavy. You really probably should have broken this down into 2 sentences or so. So for example, there is great debate regarding the role that schools should play nowadays. While some believe schools should only focus on academics, others believe it should be more holistic, including other activities. Careful with extracurricular, okay? Other activities as well, okay? Then, we don't start sentences in IELTS with but. Yeah, we do it all the time in spoken and even sometimes in informal written speech, but for the purposes of IELTS, we don't start sentences with but or and, okay? So what you could say here instead would be however or yet. So let's try. However, I view school as the center for a child's overall development rather than a mere academic skill acquiring, that should probably have a hyphen between it, institute. Okay, let's move on. Though friends, family, and society play an important role in shaping a child's personality, I regard school, I believe school should shoulder the integral part in a child's raw brain. Certainly, academic excellence is the primary reason behind sending youngsters, not the immature, to school, and they should definitely be helped on that front by presence of expert teachers in related subjects. Yet, this is also the age when a child acquires other human qualities like socialization skills, leadership qualities, exploring natural fields of interest, and various art skills like singing, dancing, and inclination to sports activities, etc. Okay, wow, long sentence. It starts here and ends here. Okay, I kept looking for it to finish, but it didn't. And to help children grow all these very important human acumens, it is an essential. Okay, so stop it here, and then new sentence. To help children develop all these very important human acumens, it is essential to have extracurricular activities in school. This is the way a receptive child brain can be nurtured in both academics along with other skills which can be their THEIR future profession as well. We can take the example of the Japanese educational system, where extracurricular activities along with personality development is given equal importance and has been observed to be more successful than mere academically focused educational systems of Southern Asian countries. Okay. Okay. Therefore, although more academic-oriented schools may give certain statistical advantage in educational subjects. It can never compete with the products from schools with extracurricular activities. Put me in position to support. Okay, what? Idea of school with entertainment. All right, I have. This is just awkward, and let's talk about the biggest problem for me. It's just 3 paragraphs, okay? Now, from the course, you have seen the template, so I'm sure you know that we definitely support the idea of having a 4-paragraph structure. You only had 1 paragraph for your body, so that's my first issue here that I need you to look at. Which do you agree with was the question. Okay. So what you really needed to do was maybe shorten this paragraph a little bit and instead write another paragraph featuring, there are a couple of ways you could have done this, okay? You could have, I think that in the course, the way that it is suggested that you develop is to have 1 paragraph focusing on how schools can be more entertaining, and then another paragraph focusing on a different element of how schools can be more entertaining. Fine. There's another way that you could have done this, is you could have taken a more middle of the road route where you could have said that, yeah, there is some validity as to why people think schools should only educate, okay? And then you could say, this is one reason, and this is another reason. All right, and then you could have developed those ideas. Then, after you do that, you could have talked about all these issues and why you think that school should have these enjoyable activities. Okay, now what you did here is all very theoretical. What you needed to do was also give a little bit more of these examples to support your ideas. It was very abstract, but I wanted you to kind of get more support, more kind of tangible evidence for your viewpoint. Okay, and of course the other area that we really need to talk about here in this essay is a lot of the grammar, these really long sentences that don't really serve your purpose here. Because they're not clear, okay? It's very nice to have complex sentences, but some of these were so complex that the meaning got lost. So I want you to think about first that you want to make your ideas clear, and then you can worry about how sophisticated and complex the sentences are. All right, let's take a look at your second essay. Okay, and now we go on to the next essay, which is the enjoyable activity with a child. Better skills and creativity than reading. Let's see. Don't forget to capitalize the first word of your sentence. In the name of better preparing their children for a competitive world, comma, parents start to force children to study. You force someone to do something. So parents start to force children to study from the very beginning. Yet it is already a proven fact that the right brain of children develops earlier than the left brain, whose functions are imagination, empathy, and creative works, while the left brain is responsible for learning and statistics. Therefore, I strongly believe the idea of engaging children in fun activities before pressuring them for academics. Okay, that's fine. A little too much here. Little too much with this whole right brain left thing. It's not the kind of thing that belongs in your introduction. This is the kind of argument you can use later on in your body paragraphs, but it's not appropriate in your introduction. Now the other thing that I want to point your attention to is this. Look at the length of this introduction. Look at the length of your body paragraph. This is far too short. It should pretty much be the opposite. So this is how long an introduction potentially could be. I'm not saying that's the ideal length, but it's certainly not appropriate for a body paragraph. Okay, engaging a child in play, no ing necessary, or telling stories at an early age means exercising the right brain of a child, which controls the creativity and imagination. That is why from the scientific study it is already a proven fact, you don't need this also, that it is far better to involve children in fun activities first. Not only that, I don't understand why you have this here. The educational system of Scandinavian countries, capital S and spelled wrong, countries like Finland and Norway also prove, no S, the fact as they start academic learning only when a child starts to develop interest in reading, despite that their education system is ranked one of the best in the world, just to prove it. You don't need this just to prove it. Okay, let's see. All right, so the first sentence is fine. The second sentence is fine. But this one got a little funny, okay, for a couple of reasons. So essentially what you have here is you have a paragraph with only 3 sentences. This sentence is super long again, but it doesn't help in the progression of your paragraph. And so what I really wanted here is for you to develop this, okay? Talk about how playing develops creativity and imagination. Talk about how telling stories does this, okay? So a lot of this was really irrelevant. So that's how I wanted you to develop this, okay? Also, I want you to refer to the template from the course. I think if you stick to it in the beginning, it'll help you to understand what you need to be writing and how you need to be developing. And then as you get more comfortable, you can, kind of move away from it. But in the beginning, I really want you to try to use the template, okay? All right, so forcing children to learn at an early age means compelling them to use their left brain, which develops only after 7 years of age. That is way rather than helping child to develop. We will create detrimental effect to child's development. Okay, this isn't a paragraph, it's just 2 sentences. You're not developing anything here. So, okay, it's not a well-developed paragraph. It's only 2 sentences. It's not following the template at all. So there's no topic sentence. There's no main ideas. There's no support for those ideas. And it's just not developed. Okay, so there are all areas of the band descriptors, all the 4 criteria are not being successfully mastered here. Okay. Let's move on to your conclusion. So it is already a proven fact from both scientific study as well as practical implications that engaging a child in imaginative activities like playing will yield far better skills than forcing a child to go for academics earlier. Okay, that's all right, but there were so many other issues with this, with these paragraphs that this is okay, but these really needed lots and lots of work. So I'm going to ask you to rewrite this. I'm going to ask you to correct it based on the video correction today. And you're going to also create an error correction list where you basically write down every mistake that I pointed out, and then next to that mistake you have to write what the suggested correction is. You're going to add to this list with each subsequent video correction you receive. That's for your benefit so you can learn from your mistakes. And then, of course, you have to take all of this feedback and use it in order to write your next set of essays. Try to do this within the next day or so you can apply everything you've been learning. All right, so quite a few things to do. Go ahead, give it a shot, and I'll be here waiting to see what you write next. Good luck.